Have you ever heard people talk about split dosing their GLP-1? I'm Tiffany. I'm a physician assistant, but also a GLP-1 advocate. So I help people get access to GLP-1s that can't get them through traditional insurance. So if you're struggling with that, there's links over here in my bio to help you out. So have you ever heard of split dosing, or are you currently doing split dosing? So let's talk about it and let's see if it's right for you. So I get this question all the time from my GLP-1 patients. Would it be okay to split my dose? What do I mean by that? So let's say that you are prescribed either Semaglutide or Tirzepatide, and the typical dosing is once weekly. Patients want to know if they can take their typical dose, split it in half, and give themselves half the dose at one time of the week, and then a few days later give themselves the other half the dose. Now, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to poke yourself twice in a week instead of just once? Well, some people think that it helps lessen their side effects, but also they feel like it gives them more steady appetite control, because I do get a lot of complaints from people that on shot day or right after shot day, they get a lot of appetite control, even to the point where they feel like they can't eat. And then the closer it gets to needing a shot or shot day, they feel like they are starving again. So people split up their doses and do 2 shots a week. Now, just to be clear, split dose shots have not been studied and are not FDA approved. But we know there are people out here doing this, so I think it's an important topic to discuss. So any medication that you take, whether or not it's injection or a pill, has something that's called a half-life. A half-life is how long it takes for your body to break down half of the drug. It takes about 4 to 5 half-lives for the drug to completely exit your body. So, for example, the half-life of semaglutide is 7 days. So it takes your body 7 full days to get rid of half of the dose that you take each week. So when you take semaglutide once a week, it builds up and then maintains a steady concentration in your system. Most drugs, it takes 4 to 6 weeks of injecting them or taking them regularly to reach what we call a steady state. And that's the state in which the drug has built up in your body and is kind of at like a steady line if you tested the drug levels, which we're not going to. So when the FDA looks at dosing your medications, it's all based on the half-life of the medications. So when you mess around with your dosing schedule, you can be messing with what we call the pharmacokinetics of the drug, so how it behaves in your body chemically. So I want to be clear, we have no test or no studies out there that show what it is to split dose in humans. Okay, so we just don't know. Now, a lot of people tell me that they've had good luck with split dosing, but I just want to be clear, there are no tests. I will say there are some potential downsides. You could be underdosing yourself, and that could stall out your progress, because it does change the pharmacokinetics of the drug and the way that it metabolizes. It could make it to where you never get up to that steady state, and so you're just not getting enough drug in your system. Likewise, if you stack too many doses together, then it could accidentally increase your side effects or even your risk for pancreatitis. So the bottom line is that if you've heard of split dosing, just know that it's unstudied and not always better. You definitely need to talk to your provider to know if that method would be right for you. And just because it's common does not mean that it's safe or effective. So, do you have questions about GLP-1s, compounded medications, or anything else to do with health or wellness? If so, drop them in the comments.